the judiciary. So many goings on that, of course, you know the role they play in a democracy. And Mr. John Oloyede joins us now. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
Well, this is on the back of some very recent controversy going on, but let's say the background for this. We're back afterwards.
Ethics, management skills and the use of information technology are said to be very key ingredients of the modern-day justice system. It is for this reason that chief judges of state high courts, chief registrars of courts, secretaries of judicial service commissions, directors of area, sharia and customary courts gather on Abuja for training by the National Judicial Institute. As the engine room for the smooth running of the various courts and organs of the judiciary, the roles of these judicial officers continue to remain relevant. To this end, they are to be seen to be on top of their game and not be found wanting at any time, a situation the Chief Justice of Nigeria says will not be tolerated.
You must be above board. You must be fair to all and sundry, both your staff and patrons of your courts. Let your conduct be settled to be ethical and impeccable. Therefore, rather than preach ethics and integrity, I urge you all to act ethics and integrity. Show leadership by example. Lead your staff and let them learn good ethical conduct and integrity from you. By so doing, the image of the judiciary will receive high rating in the opinion of the public that we serve.
Beyond the issues of ethics and value, a major concern to the leadership of the nation's judiciary is the need to increase the acquisition and the use of information technology in the day-to-day running of the courts, which has become the norm world over.
Challenges of this competitive age, which are characterized by tremendous technological innovations, have made the knowledge and skills in information technology vital tool for improved performance and quality management decisions. Failure to imbibe IT knowledge in the present world, which has inevitably become a global village, will undoubtedly impede effective administration of justice in the polity.
Excellence in justice delivery through the application of ethics and information technology is the theme of this workshop. It is expected that skills acquired here will be utilized to increase the efficiency of the nation's justice sector. Amaka Nwajigu, Channels Television News.
Okay, well, some background there, but speaking of which, Mr. Oloyede, we have heard several people talk about the administration of justice, the way the legal system seems to function, how even some politicians had some very unpleasant comments about the way something seemed to be going on, that they have even gotten that deep, such that the CJN at the time, they say, let the politicians leave us alone. But from what you've seen at the moment, does it look as though the judiciary is just about now being their own person?
No, definitely not. There's a big problem with the judiciary in the country at the moment. And it is not just about the daily workings of the judiciary. It is about the overbearing influence of politicians on the judiciary. It is about the non-implementation of the laws, so to say, that seem to give the impression that the judiciary is independent when it actually is not. It's all about, you having a situation on your hands where the judiciary cannot self-determine, cannot decide that these are the projects I want to do, these are the kind of things that we should change, without getting a concomitant approval from probably the Attorney General of the respective state or even the governor. There are certain things that the chief judge of a state, we say, now the judiciary is self-accounting in most states. But that is really not true in the real sense of the word. Because when you look at certain projects, take for instance a situation where it is still the state, maybe the Commissioner for Works and Housing, that would be involved in constructing or building houses to be occupied by judges. Any little influence, any little interaction that makes judicial officers dependent on the workings outside the judiciary can open them up to corruption. Because, I mean, when they know that, oh, I'm going to get this particular favor from government, it is not impossible that where a situation arises and government is a party in a case before the judge. I have said this on this program before. There was a situation where houses were being given to judges in one of the estates by the state government. Of course, they will pay for it from their earnings. And prior to the understanding to allocate these houses to judges, there had been a sort of private-public partnership between government and a private company. And some allocations had been made to certain individuals. And it came up that by the time the government decided that, okay, we are giving these houses to the judges, the previous allottees went to court. And it was one of the judges to whom one of the units was allocated that had to determine the case. That's in this Lagos state. I was present in court, and the judge, I mean, because he is a very good judge, very conscionable, he informed the lawyers on both sides that, look, I want to disclose this, full disclosure. I'm ready to give my ruling on the application before me. But I must let you know that, in fact, in the course of preparing the ruling, I discovered that I am one of the allottees of one of the units. And so I want you two to decide whether you still want me to continue or I should just hands off now. Some judges will not do that. And by the time he gave his ruling, he actually granted the injunction restraining Lagos state government from going ahead to allocate their units to the judges. That was some years back. Some judges will not do that. So when there are areas of interaction, and these areas of interaction border on the well-being of the judges, I mean, you can't say the judiciary is free.
But is it that, I mean, since they're custodians of the law and they can, some say, free themselves if they want, people then ask, what then is the inhibition? What's the impediment? Why can't they be free of all of this?
I say to that the inhibition is at the point of entry. When you look at the way and manner that judges are being appointed in most states these days, you will see that from inception is like in medical parlance, dead on arrival. Because he who pays the piper dictates the tune. The way and manner judges are being appointed has been so bastardly politicized that there is no way a judge can claim to be free in the real sense of the word. Because before you can become a judge, there has to be a godfather, just like in day-to-day politics. Somebody has to speak for you.
Wow.
Somebody has to, tell somebody that this person should be on the list.